If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. What's going on, man? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the show. We got some things to talk about, some topics we need to graze over, conversate about, man. So I hope y'all here for the long run. GMS fam, the green room, tap in with me. If you are in the live chat, let me know you are in here. Shout out to Glittery Bubbles. Shout out to D. Howe. Shout out to Willie Rouse for becoming a GMS Level 3 member. You can become a member of the GMS show by clicking the join button below the screen. Appreciate y'all, man. GMS fam, let's talk about it, man. You know, we start out every show with peace and love and positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward, hoping that we pass it along as well. What's up, Jeff Hunt? Say he is checking in from Reno, Nevada. Yeah, shout out where you from. If you in the chat, man, if you tuning in, let me know where you tuning in from. I know we got people from all across the place tuning in to the show, man. Appreciate y'all, man. So we have to speak on a few things that happened last night on the 5150 show. If you guys watched, there was a few things that went down, a few things that were said. And just to glaze over a few of them before we get to certain important topics I do want to talk about, I just want to mention the fact that, you know, Corey talked about the Tyree Nichols situation in Memphis and how that whole thing went down. And, you know, he saluted the chief, the woman chief in charge, you know, like the woman king, the woman chief, who was the one who charged all 5 of those officers with the murder of Tyree Nichols. But the thing is, I don't know how much Corey actually knows the background of that lady. If he did, I don't know if he would have been singing so much praise to her, because if it wasn't for her, Tyree Nichols might still be alive. Who knows? You know, I hear the conspiracies going around. You know, they talking about the fact that one of the officers involved, you know, his alleged baby mom was in a new relationship with the victim who died, and that was part of the reason that it happened. And if you guys, you know, me not encouraging people to go see the video, but if you have, you know, you can tell that was a different type of interaction. It looked more personal than it did police officers trying to, you know, de-escalate the situation, which they never really do. You know, police officers don't, they're taught to de-escalate, but they rarely use that tactic, because most of the time they want to use what's strapped around their waist, which is a gun or a taser or whatever it is that they can find. But that's neither here nor there, man. Just, you know, continue to send your love and positive energy out to his family, man. That was a gruesome thing that happened. And it may not be, of course, it's not going to be the last, but you can only hope that, you know, moving forward, people will be more cautious of how they move and how we interact with police. But he also spoke on Ed Reed and what happened out there at Bethune-Cookman. And, you know, if you know anything about how Corey has talked about the HBCUs and how he feels about them, this is one thing that he knew was coming in the first place. And he sent out his support to Ed Reed and, you know, pretty much spoke on a lot of the things that are wrong with how they move at HBCUs and how they treat, you know, our legends and our greats. You know, Ed Reed is a Hall of Famer. And the fact that they set him up to be in a position where he had to clean his own office or clean the surroundings around him, something that shouldn't be in his job title, tells you everything about how much they actually gave a fuck about him and him actually being there to coach their squad, you know, a place that didn't even have a practice field. But just a few things that he skimmed over. I do want to talk about some things though in depth. Now, one of the things that has always been off to me about Corey's approach with certain things is how it would seem like he's taking up for an individual who has done some horrible things, aka R. Kelly. And last night, out of nowhere, he just started talking about the fact that he hopes R. Kelly is set free. Now, I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about the R. Kelly situation, but one thing that I've always noticed during this entire time, since the beginning until now, is that every single person that has ever spoke on R. Kelly has always agreed that they knew he liked underage girls. So no matter if they trumped up charges or if X, Y, and Z said this about him and there was no validity to it or whatever the case may be, I look at that specific situation as karma for certain things that he felt like he could get away with being R. Kelly. Now, you can take that for however you want to, but I'm telling you right now, any man or any woman in the situation where their child, which I will hope they wouldn't even have their child be in that situation in the first place, but if it did happen, knowing that if something like that happened to your child who was underage, you wouldn't have that type of sympathy or that type of, well, you know what, he made a mistake type attitude when it comes to him. That's all I'm saying. And we're keeping it specific because this isn't something that I feel like is one of those instances where they're trying to tear a black man down, which is something that they do a lot. But in this instance, I feel like R. Kelly is supposed to be where he's supposed to be, and whenever he gets out is when he gets out. I don't see why people would advocate or want to advocate for that, but it seems like Corey has been stuck on that for a while, and it doesn't help the narrative that, well, you know, you heard Borsice. I don't have to reiterate it. I'm just saying, if this is something that you're not into or that you don't partake in, then you shouldn't be taking up for a lot of things that be going on out here, or even speaking on kids in a certain manner like you do. But some people look at it as being real. I kind of look at it as being weird, but that's just me. Now, I do want to get past the weirdo shit and actually talk about his heartfelt apology that he gave to Ricky Smiley and condolences to his son. You know, Corey expressed the fact that Ricky Smiley was one of the first people that helped put him on a show and actually helped showcase his stand-up and was there from the beginning of Corey's career, you know, showing love. And, you know, I think it was something that really touched Corey in a way where, you know, it kind of dampened his spirits to hear that Ricky's son died. And, you know, it's never an easy thing for anybody to lose a child, but, you know, it was cool to see that, you know, he sent out that heartfelt, you know, condolence to Ricky Smiley, somebody who does, you know, need it at this time from, you know, all angles. You know, he expressed the fact that, you know, he understands a lot of people are reaching out and texting and calling and, he'll get back to those individuals. But you also got to respect somebody's grieving time, and we give those condolences and give him that time that he needs to grieve and to move forward from the tragedy that has been going on in his life. Now, one specific thing that I want to show you that happened is the continuation of him and Jess Hilarious's beef. Now, I don't need to go through the beginning and talk about how it started. We all know what's been going on, but we are here now at this point. Now, the last thing that happened was Corey talking about responding to something that Jess had said on her live and going in from there. But I've always noticed that no matter how Corey goes in or what he says, one of the main things that he tries to drive home is that you have to be funny. You have to get on stage and you have to be funny. You could say X, Y, and Z about me. You could talk all the shit in the world. But when you get on that stage, you got to prove it. And it seemed like recently, over the past weekend, or maybe last week, I would say, Jess Hilarious had a show. I forgot where it was. You'll hear it in this clip. But she had a show somewhere, and it didn't go too well. And knowing comedy or comedians and knowing how they move and how they talk amongst each other, of course it was going to get back to Corey that she was complete trash on stage. Listen to Corey react to her bombing during her comedy set.
Did they own it?
They said last week we had a comic that was so terrible all week they lost money because people was walking out on the bill said, I'm not paying for that. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
Damn, so they got their money up front.
Who do you think the comedian was?
Uh-oh.
He was black?
Yeah, it was black.
A male or female?
Female. Less hilarious.
Uh-oh.
No, man.
Talk all that shit like it's sweet.
No, Cole.
Talk all that shit like it's sweet. But I know this comedian that told me that one line. Because I saw the show.
Oh, my goodness.
They said the club owner said, we lost money all weekend. Because people was walking out saying, I'm not paying for that. When the less hilarious motherfucker was in there. If you don't believe me, go pay your money to go see it.
Oh,
Go pay your money to go see it. You're going to be like, Corey told me this wasn't shit. I started not to say nothing because it seemed like I'm being messy.
it probably was 5150 who did it.
This is a fact.
5150 did it.
You want me to find out the club? Hold on. I'll find out the club. And the culture. They get put in shit. And then when they motherfucking get put there, they eat the whole dick all weekend. I know they hate going on stage. They be like, damn, they gonna boo me. Get your pussy ass the fuck up off the motherfucking stage, funk ass bitch.
What y'all think about what Corey had to say?
Damn. So basically, Jess had a bad night on stage. And the word got back to Corey. And of course, he spared no expense to let the people know that she, quote unquote, ate the dick on stage. I knew this was coming. I knew this was going to happen. This is one of those things where now it's just gotten to a petty place because two people want to go back and forth, an OG comedian and a newer comedian. And the newer comedian being more, I wouldn't say more popular, but as for this generation being more, being booked more because of her notoriety, not necessarily because she's funny. And this is the thing about this, somebody was like, well, comedians have bad nights, they bomb. You can hear some of the greats talk about when they bomb, the Richard Pryors and the Eddie Murphys and the Dave Chappelles and the so-and-sos, these people who bomb. But the thing about bombing is you have to prove yourself after that. And not only that, the place that you bombed at isn't gonna be so quick to want to book you again, especially if they were losing money all weekend. They don't want to take that chance again. Now at this point, you have to work even harder to be funnier and to be more entertaining and to prove yourself, so that this same spot will put you back on the list of people to book, so that they can make some bread, and not just the quick bread for having somebody popular there, but somebody popular but who's not funny. And here's another problem with the fact that, oh, you know, comedians bomb, they have bad nights. This isn't the only time people have spoken on her set like this, and how it was, or if it was bad, or if it was mediocre, or if, you know, she was just there just to have people be like, ooh, look, it's just hilarious, and not really because, oh man, we coming here because of that one joke she told last time that was so hilarious, like just hilarious. Like nobody's really pulling for that. And I think that her jumping into this space because she was the internet funny girl, the internet skit funny girl, she thought that it would translate into comedy. And one thing about a comedian or an OG comedian, they may not be in the same position as you are in life currently, but these same people have an immense amount of respect and can sell tickets wherever they go based off the fact that the people that go to see them know they are going to be guaranteed laughing at something that's being said. I feel like a lot of these people, like for instance, like the Just Hilariouses and shit like that, people go with the hope that they will laugh as hard as they did from seeing that skit that they saw on IG or the shit they saw on YouTube and shit like that. Not knowing that these are takes, these are several takes, these are rehearsed takes, and you know, they had to make sure that this one was the right one before they put it up, or before they, you know, left it in the clip or left it in the video. And not somebody who can actually work the crowd and be on stage and know how to maneuver through jokes even when one isn't working, know how to catch yourself, know how to, you know what I'm saying? These are things that people need to understand. And it's not as easy as people think it is. You can get the laughs and you can get the likes and you can get the followers, but does it translate on stage? That's the biggest question. Now, speaking of translating on stage, I think Corey translated on stage so much for his audience and his fans that one just could not control herself. I mean, I guess Corey was telling such great jokes and did such a good job that night that this lady could not contain her arms and her legs. And what ended up happening was Corey getting assaulted by a random drunk, well, not random, because I think he said he knew her, but didn't like know her, like they weren't friends. He just kind of knew her in passing, but she's a fan of his work. Listen to what Corey had to say about being assaulted. First of all, this is probably one of the funniest stories I've heard in a long time on the 5150 show, but listen to this shit.
Like I said, it was an attractive woman, right? Not only did she marry backdoorians and be with backdoorians, this bitch was drunk as a fish at the show.
Somebody asked what a backdoorian was in the comments. I said Lil Nas X. Let's continue.
This bitch was lit. Came back there, and do you know what this bitch did? This bitch kicked me.
Wait.
Oh,
Like-
God damn.
Out the blue.
Oh, God
Drunk
damn.
bitch.
Oh, my God.
I was like, oh my God, this bitch kicked me. Kicked me in front of my nigga. And this nigga, this a wild boy. I was embarrassed because he saw a bitch kick me.
Was it like a mirror kick? Or it was like
I don't know. I just felt it.
Oh.
I didn't see the bitch kick me. I was like, this bitch kicked me.
Hey, Glittery Bubble says she must have been very good looking. See, that's the problem as well. Sometimes dudes don't know how to act when a very attractive woman does some outlandish shit and like catches you off guard. Like if I'm telling you right now, if this was a Booger Wolf looking bitch, I promise you, Corey would have backhanded the shit out of her. off the first kick. But you can tell this girl must have looked bad because she did it twice.
Oh, my nigga. I was like, oh, this is what happened when I come in the crowd. I run into drunk people. Bitch drunk kicked me. I was like.
Was you taking pictures?
But that's why you need security.
And I was like, girl, what the fuck? She like, what? I bought tickets to come here. Corey, tell him I know you. I wanted to get a 5150 hat. I was still trying to be nice. I was like,
yeah, she was fine.
Mad.
She had to be fine as hell.
I don't know how to react.
She had to be fine as hell. Ain't no bitch finna just hit you in the back and then you turn around and just start being nice. Like, yeah, I'll get you some merch, bitch. You crazy bitch. You just hit me.
Can't win. That's why I realized I need security.
Yeah.
I need a motherfucker. Bah! Bitches, whoever. I need security.
Oh my God.
I come to the realization I need security. So look, when I turned around, I was like, let me get you a hat, because I was like, we finna put this drunk bitch out. Do you know when I turned around to go get Maurice to get the bitch a hat, the bitch hit me.
What? Oh my God.
Bah! Hit me in my back.
Wait, this sounds like third grade. Remember when they used to say, remember they used to say,
Helcomb attacking your ass.
Remember when they used to say, oh, he likes you, that's why he's attacking. Remember that?
She hit her with the Hadouken.
Back in the school.
You remember Hey Honor, Helcomb attacking used to be fucking with Honor all the
They be
time?
like, oh, she
You
likes
get Hey Honor in that bitch, Cole.
Man, I was getting punked, dog.
Still back in elementary.
I was finna hit the bitch, dog. I had gave her one of these.
Oh.
When the bitch hit me, I caught myself. I'm already embarrassed with my nigga looking at this shit. My nigga, I know he a wild boy. You know,
Beat the shit out of
this bitch assaulted me. Assaulted me.
Oh
I was like,
my-
bitch, I knocked your...
Oh, now he taking it on me.
Boy, I was dead ass. D, I was finna... I wanted to be like, get one of these, one of them. Get one of them. That bitch did just like how Charlie Murphy said. That's how that bitch did me, dog. I was like,
Fuck your cops.
right, nigga.
Black motherfucker.
Should have never gave you niggas money.
I should have never gave you niggas money.
Now, before I continue, please understand that this is a very odd situation. We're talking about, and this is what be throwing me off sometimes, man. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but the way Corey talks on his show opposed to how Corey acts in real life. Now, I understand the lose-lose situation because he is Corey Holcomb. And if there's somebody out there that does something to him first on a minor or major scale, something can blow back on him by how he reacts. I understand that part, especially when it comes to a female putting hands on you and you turn around and slap her. We saw it with the Dana White shit. Although they didn't give Dana White as much backlash as they would have somebody else in that situation, the simple fact is it's Dana White and nobody paid attention to the fact that he got slapped first. I get the lose-lose shit, but we're talking about somebody who sits on their platform to talk about certain things that they would do or how they would react to certain situations. No matter if the girl is fine or not, you have to set a boundary. And a lot of the times when things happen to this man outside of this platform, nobody knows how he feels about it until he gets back on the platform, which is within that week. A simple mush, if you will, could have set the tone with her and how she reacts or how she interacts with Corey ever again. But it gives for good entertainment. Now, what happened next was he went to read off the text that was exchanged between them because clearly at some point she realized it was a problem, so she texted Corey an apology. But because Corey did not text her back and give her the, okay, I accept your apology, she went left with it. But you'll hear how it went down. Listen to this.
I wanted to apologize for putting my hands on you. I was only joking. I am a woman, and I know I could never bet up a man. The bitch spelled beat, B-E-T. Bet up a man. I'm just used to hanging with my guy cousin and friends. The Bears.
The gay cousin.
Right.
That was you trying to say gay instead of guy?
They just tell me I'm heavy-handed. I would really like to make it up to you more.
Hold up.
So to
Hey, man. This wild bitch said, people say I'm heavy-handed. That should be the first sign for you not to put your hands on people, you goofy motherfucker.
my friend LeVar, I don't know what
People
you're
say
talking about.
I have a heavy hand, so the first thing I do is hit people.
Let me know when you're available to talk. I ain't finna call this
For
funky
what?
bitch.
It's
Your light
already
on,
done.
your flashlight on.
It's already
Okay.
done. It's like,
Okay, it don't matter.
What
I ain't
the
finna call
hell?
this funky bitch. So look, I want everybody to watch
Don't
this
call her
lesson.
right now, Cole. You gotta call her right now on
I might. I might. Look, but this is a lesson I want people to know. I didn't call her. I didn't get a bitch no energy. So because I didn't call her back, I want y'all to know what the funky bitch had to say.
she said more.
Now this reply is out of the fucking window. This is somebody who should have never, ever had access to his number, given their reaction to not being replied to. You would have thought this reaction that she just, the shit that she texts back after texting the apology was a reaction to something Corey did, but he simply didn't say nothing. Also, this is a testament to how crazy some of you women are when you don't get your way. It is amazing how ridiculous in your mind you can get. You'll just conjure up some shit. I bet she saw that he read it because he got his read receipts on or some shit, and she probably saw the read receipt and didn't get no reply back and was thinking in her head, oh, he probably thinks I'm crazy, or he thinks I'm dumb, or he thinks I'm this, or he thinks I'm that. Then sent a whole crazy ass motherfucking text because of what she conjured up in her own fucking mind. Listen to
Because
this.
when
went
she
off.
couldn't get her way
No, she ain't
and
went
get
off.
no type of rhythm
Amazing.
from me, the funky bitch said, just know you have lost a fan. I'm not sure what your issues are with women. However, you completely overreacted and it was totally uncalled for. I spent almost $200 in supporting you last night. I paid not my friend to have you overreact in such a way that says a lot about your character. I used to think those were just jokes. I don't stand on what I say. But I realize you
don't
mean
sometimes,
those nasty,
motherfucker.
hateful words you speak about women. And any woman how would deal with you in any manner clearly has self-esteem issues. Asshole.
All right. So basically, she found herself trying to tell Corey about himself because she didn't get the reaction that she wanted out of apologizing for something she felt was an overreaction. Let me tell you something, man. Now, I could go into other things right now and you know, kind of validate how she feels or what she's talking about, but I mean, how would I sound being somebody who was never there and knew what the fuck happened? I can only take the person's word for it who it happened to. And what I saw and what I heard was she was too drunk. She put her hands and feet on people for absolutely no reason, because for some reason people feel like people are just cool with whatever they do to them, and felt like it wasn't bad enough for the reaction she got from Corey or the people around her. Let me tell you guys something, man. This is a word to the wise. When you interact with people or when you deal with people, don't assume that they are just cool with how you move. That goes from minuscule shit to major shit, because you don't know somebody's ins and outs or their quirks or their likes and their dislikes. You have to learn somebody first. It's okay to turn on your basic self when you're around people who you don't know or who you're not used to. It's okay. You don't have to be the motherfucker that's like, yeah, I'm just going to do this because that's who I am. No, not everybody might be into that shit. You should ease that shit, especially if you're somebody who has an annoying trait about yourself. You should ease people into that shit. One thing I hate is overly physical individuals who don't just talk with their mouths, but they talk physically with their hands. Like, oh, you got to tell me a story, but you got to grab my shoulder or tap my arm like, yeah, man, you know, and then you just extra shit like that. It's okay to turn on the basic parts of yourself so that you don't overstep boundaries. Now, it all comes with common sense too, because I'm not saying don't be who you are. I'm not saying don't say what's on your mind, but also gauge a certain situation. Like, there's been multiple times where I've been having a conversation and I can tell where a certain person's perspective is going to go. And if I don't agree with what they're talking about or whatever subject they're talking about, but I can tell that they're an argumentative type of person, I'm not going to interact with that person, because for one, I'm not going to teach you nothing. They're not going to teach me shit. And it's just going to be a never ending debate / argument because we're already stuck in our ways. It's like choosing your battles. I don't have to prove myself right to you, or I don't have to prove my opinion right to you, especially if we have different opinions. Now, if you have somebody that you can have a conversation with and y'all feed off each other and y'all have a difference of opinion, but y'all also learning from each other while speaking about a certain subject, or you can agree to disagree, cool. But there's a lot of people out here who take their opinion as fact and will argue you up and down and will at some point not even care about the sense you're making or the sense that they're making. They just want to win the argument. It's a horrible trait. Choose your battles wisely and make sure that you're thinking before you make an action. And speaking of thinking before you make an action, I couldn't wait to speak about this shit. Now, for those who don't pay attention to No Jumper podcast, who I don't encourage you to do so after you see this, and I'm sorry, I'm not one of those people that be like, oh man, don't support this and that, but hey, it's a white guy's platform. It's a toss up. Adam 22, and here's the toss up part too, is because he employs majority black people, and I want to see those guys thrive and be successful in their own rights. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to be out here having their lives ruined and their lives changed forever at the expense of clicks and content and trying to get some bread off of videos that is owned by a nigga that's not part of the culture. So Adam 22, if you didn't know, last week or a couple weeks ago, he had an interview at the AVN Awards with a trans porn star, not even a star. She's just a trans person that gets fucked on camera. They had an interview, and during that interview, the trans individual disclosed the fact that he had a sexual relationship with a host of No Jumper by the name of Housephone. This guy here. This guy sitting right here in the jean outfit. And Adam had the choice to air this interview and put this unknown information out to the public about somebody he considers a friend, or he could have scrapped the entire fucking interview. He chose to put it out. Housephone got outed, and then the excuses came. The fucked up part about this is like I just said, he had the choice to put this shit out, and he did it. And the excuses that I heard was, oh, well, this trans person felt like, why is it a thing to hide? Because that would mean that there's something wrong with trans individuals. Let me say something. The same way that goofy motherfucker tricked Adam into being like, oh, I have sympathy, is the same tactic that person used against Housephone. If there's nothing wrong with it and it's supposed to be normal, why did you put it out there to the public as if it was something to expose? I wonder, do you find it shameful yourself? I'm not asking for me. I wouldn't know. I'm not in that community, so I wouldn't know if it's shameful or not. I wouldn't know how it feels to be trans. Let me know. Person who wanted to out somebody but then wanted to talk about how it's normal. Why would you put them on blast if it's something that's normal? But that's neither here nor there because Adam still chose to do so. And it wasn't a situation where Housephone is one of those guys who are overly homophobic and always talking about the LGBTQ community and calling them weird or acting like he's against it, and now all of a sudden he's getting outed. That's like if Boosie got outed for sleeping with a trans person, then the world should explode. Everybody should go in and start talking shit because we know how Boosie is. But this specific individual isn't that type of person, so to out them when they weren't even doing anything to disrespect anybody in the first place is evil to me. And this is the only time Adam has allowed some bullshit to happen on his channel or on his platform. So Housephone spoke about it. Housephone was in denial himself. You know, he was thinking because he had a friendship or what he thought was a friendship with this guy, he felt like it wasn't on purpose. He felt like it was no malice or that it wasn't something that Adam was specifically trying to do to hurt him. But when you have the choice to create content, edit it, and give the green light on to put it out, it is your fault if something is exposed that shouldn't be exposed. Now, here's the problem with me and why I'm even talking about this. Housephone is somebody who almost got let go from this platform because of his severe drug addiction. Another thing about his personal life that was put out here to the public to the point where people were like, damn, this nigga Housephone is a crackhead or he's this or that. He's a drug head and he don't know how to control himself. He's about to lose his spot at No Jumper, but then, you know, caught himself, got his shit together. Well, at least enough to be able to come to, you know, the platform and still, you know, produce content and, you know, do interviews and hold conversations. All this type of shit where he's, you know, trying to figure out his life, and somebody who at one point was suicidal, that they even talked about that on the show before, for you to think that it was cool to out him for some shit that was personal, knowing that he already battles certain things, is to me evil. It is evil. And the excuses and the backtracking and trying to make yourself look like you're the savior or that you're the person that actually gave a fuck is very weird to me. I would rather you take accountability for trying to put somebody out there than to try to act like you didn't try to do this on purpose. And when they finally sat down, because Adam was a little afraid to sit down face to face with Housephone at first, they finally sat down last night, and this is how it went.
Raised me, that birthed me, my best friend that died. Oh, just he's been going through the mom shit.
But you are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're
I fucking
disrespectful as fuck.
I paid for the fucking
First of
funeral
all-
as soon
first
as
of
it
all-
happened, just because.
Hold on. That should be making me laugh. Adam threw his hands up like a little white boy whose mom told him to stop playing a video game and go to bed. Take your butt to bed, Adam. It is 11:30 p.m. You have school in the morning. This is malarkey. Go to bed. Look at his arm. Look. Okay, Mom. Jeez. Gosh. Okay, Mom. Look. All right, Mom. Jeez. Yo, this nigga owns the platform, but these guys are the ones running it. My man AD said, man, go outside, bro. And here's the thing, man. I saw what happened after this because they had to cut the live. Everybody started going on social media, posting the clip and talking about it. Then they went back live an hour later, which also let me know that this quite possibly was just for entertainment purposes. I would play the video of their continuation of the conversation and after the incident, but I don't want to get blocked by YouTube. You'd have to go over to No Jumper and see that yourself after the show. But When they came back, Housephone explained why he exploded right there and opened the cap up to a drink and sprayed it at him. When Adam made the comment, I paid for the funeral because Housephone's mother passed, condolences, rest in peace to, his mother. When he made the comment, I paid for the funeral, it wasn't accurate. He didn't pay for her funeral. He helped with the funeral. He did not pay for the funeral itself. He helped with the expenses. To put that narrative out there and to be the guy who is trying your hardest to escape accountability for something that you caused, then try to throw it in somebody's face that you paid for a funeral that you in retrospect didn't actually pay for, you helped with, which is something you did not need to do, but you did out the kindness of your heart, which he expressed that he thanks. He thanked him for that and said he could never downplay that part of what happened. He said, Housephone said he was in the bank trying to figure out how he was going to move his mother's body around and make sure that she had a funeral. And that's when Adam hit him up and sent him some bread to help him with his situation. That, with gratitude, is enough respect for me to feel like somebody wasn't being malice toward or had any malice towards me or any ill will towards me, which is why I can understand now why Housephone had that doubt in his mind that the person he found to be his friend would deliberately disrespect him and put him on blast. And one thing that stuck out to me the most when I was watching their interaction was Housephone saying that his life is forever altered now. Because when this news came out, or when he was exposed, he has a significant other. He has a girlfriend, and he has family members. He expressed that he had to talk to his sister about this whole shit, because imagine you're not talking to your family or nobody really knows this side of you, and there's a certain stigma and a certain way that people look at things. And now it's outed, not by you, but by the person who you might have had trust in to not treat you that way because you didn't treat them that way, which is which is why that person who did that deserves all the disrespect in the world, because y'all the motherfuckers, the LGBTQ community, you part of the community of people that want to be accepted and be looked at as normal and be looked at as genuine and be looked at as all positive, anything under the sun, but be the main ones out here, quote unquote, exposing people. Same thing with an Isaiah Rashad situation. Isaiah Rashad being in the same sentiment as a Housephone, somebody who wasn't out here being homophobic or acting like they're against the LGBTQ community, basically putting on the I'm in the closet role that a lot of these niggas be playing. Some niggas we do know out here who have yet to be brought to the fucking forefront, to the court of public opinion, because I'm sparing they fucking life, weird ass nigga. Not like them. These same people would get exposed by that same community, and then it'd be like, yo, what do y'all want? Is this supposed to be shameful? Is this supposed to be embarrassing? Or do y'all want to be accepted? Which one is it? And I know I'm not trying to speak on, the majority, or saying that it's all of them, but I've seen these instances quite a few times in my lifetime to know that there's quite a few people out here who weaponize their sexuality. They'll weaponize what they're labeled as. They'll weaponize their LGBTQism to shame somebody else who isn't out or wants to keep their sexual life private. And yes, Jeff, he admitted to being with, this is another thing. It forced Housephone to have to admit to doing something in his private time. Like, think about that shit. I felt bad, and these are the people I feel bad for, because think about it. a lot of the times the problem is because some people are really loud and out there and doing extreme shit. I seen a picture the other day of a trans parade, and there was or not a trans parade, a LGBTQ parade, and it showed a gay man with a microphone holding it down by his junk and holding it up to a child's face to talk. Now, I'm not saying that represents them as a whole, but please understand that there are gripes there. There are legitimate concerns there when it comes to adding kids into certain shit. But that's another conversation for another day. But he had to admit to that. He had to go on his platform and he went on Academic's platform as well to admit to having sexual. So basically what he was saying was he smashed that trans, but he did not engage in giving oral, taking any meat package, and not interacting with the meat package at all. He just was like, yeah, here's a trans individual and I'm going to hit that. And it was like, whoa. It was like, I mean, and look, this is what I want y'all to understand too. To straight people, to people like me and people like who are straight in the chat, it sounds wild to us. It sounds crazy to us, but you have to understand it only sounds crazy to us because that's not what we're into. What we also need to understand is that we don't have to comment on everything. We don't have to talk about everything. We don't have to, have an issue with everything that gay people or lesbian people or bi or trans people do when they're just simply doing their thing or having fun. Do your thing. But when it's the picture like I just named or the shit that I just saw today, and it doesn't, this specifically doesn't have to do with the LGBTQ community, but more so having to do with kids being involved with shit. A strip club out here in Minneapolis, the Spearmint Rhino, is about to have a kid night. I'm concerned about the kids, fam. They're about to have a kid night, 12 and under, at the Spearmint Rhino. And it's supposed to be for the kids. Shout out LR Realist for the 5 in the Cash App, man. I really appreciate you. It's supposed to be for the kids. But for some reason, they want to over-sexualize the kids. I know there's an agenda for different groups out there, but don't just pinpoint the LGBTQ community. I think this is a bigger plot to over-sexualize kids in all aspects, in all different groups. And if you want to protect your child from the fuckery, that is your choice, and you have every right to do so. All right. And that's where I'm going to leave that at for that conversation. But when it comes down to this shit, I think Adam 22 should let these black men and women who are over his or who go on his podcast or go on his platform and conduct interviews and create content for him and for his platform. I think he needs to let these guys do their thing. I think he needs to step back from doing interviews. He's not the best interviewer on his platform. Please believe that. Drink more water, by the way. This shit was $2, man. I was happy as hell. But there are people on his platform that create good content without him being there, which is why they have the, runoff podcasts and other shows that they run on that platform. He's not a good person. I do not think Adam is a good person. I don't think he's a genuine person. I think he will use his friendships and he will waste no time to put one of his employees in a fucked up situation for the sake of likes, content, views, and the bread. That's all I have to say about that guy. And I wanna commend Housephone for not going too crazy on him. I kind of wish he did, because at this point, there's not one time where Adam has really learned a lesson. There was a time when there was a gun pulled on him. I think they had a situation where somebody came in and robbed or tried to rob the No Jumper crew and pulled a gun on Adam, which I feel was fake as well. But one thing I want to point out about what Housephone had to say about him, he was like, listen, man, the things that he just felt, the betrayal that he felt, in my opinion, was something that was very real. And I don't think Adam paid attention to that. You know, he brought up the instance where Adam was accused of rape. You know, he was talking about the times where people didn't fuck with him or didn't respond to him or show him love just simply off the fact that they weren't fucking with Adam. And he stood up for that guy. And this is what I'm saying. Our loyalty for certain individuals, and I get it, you know what I'm saying? It's not about being racist. It's not about, you know, all that other shit. But please remember, you black first. You are black first, and a lot of these people do not care about what you're going through. When he said, my life is forever altered, that should be grounds for enough for you to move away from that platform and not associate yourself with an Adam 22. But that massive mentality that a lot of these niggas have, that feel like they cannot do anything or feel like they won't be as successful or be as accomplished if they didn't have this attachment to this white guy who has this huge platform and is paying them X amount of dollars to be a part of this platform, knowing that they bring a lot to the table. Please understand, the loyalty that you have to a lot of these people, they will not show you that back. They will not express that type of loyalty and that type of love back to you. Read the signs, man. Read the signs, read between the lines, and you will be okay out here in this world, however you maneuver. And that's where I want, that's you know what? That's where I want to leave it at, man. That's where I want to leave it at. Learn how to maneuver through this world, man. Learn how to read the signs. Learn that common sense, man. Get that common sense in your mind. You feel me? I want to say something before I go. There's going to be some changes happening sometime soon. I cannot give away any details. It's not set in stone. I have a good feeling that it will come to flourish as well, though. You guys will see me in a different space, hopefully. And I want y'all to be able to get in tune with that side, man. Our media out here in Minnesota, local media and things that are coming up, is very, very entertaining and very lucrative to be around, whether you're a local artist or whether you're somebody in the media game. and people out here are pushing, and I want y'all to be able to get in tune, man. So when these things happen, when these things start to be manifest, or when they start to be announced and when they start popping up, I'm gonna let y'all know, man. And I want y'all to support that and be there for those moments, man. I can't say too much, as you can tell. I cannot say too much, but when the time is right, you guys will know, and I hope you guys will be there to support and show love, man. So like I said, man, do your due diligence, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App today if you are feeling generous. I'll most appreciate it. Shout out to LR Realist for the 5 in the Cash App. I really appreciate you, brother. I really appreciate it. I want to see at least 5 of y'all. I want to see at least 5 of y'all in the comment section below. Leave a comment on this video when the live is over. I do a lot of lives, man, so I want y'all to go ahead and follow me on everywhere, man. My Twitch, I'll be playing beats on there. The beat that you hear right now, I made. Every beat that you hear from the intro to the outro, I made. And I make a lot of beats, man. So if y'all want to hear some exclusive shit that you never heard on this channel, or probably won't hear anywhere else until I come out with some fucking material somewhere, pull up to the Twitch, man. Pull up to the Twitch channel, man. It's Black GMS, BLACKK GMS. And you'll be able to see me on there playing music, chilling out, catching a vibe. Shout out to Baltimore in the building. GMS fam in the building. Today was a great episode. I'll see y'all Friday. Make sure you subscribe to the 3Gs podcast. Shout out AP. Shout out Pac G. Free my nigga Packy. Do your due diligence, man. Smoke something. Enjoy the rest of your night. Send your loves out to people, man. Spread that positivity. GMS fam, the green room, we out.